We are going to be having a look at the 4 different operations. We've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. And when we are adding 2 or more numbers together, we say that we sum those numbers together. So if you are asked for the sum of 92 and 87, that means you need to add those 2 numbers together. So let's just revise how we do that in a tower sum. So we say 92 plus 87, we plus those together, and we have 2 plus 7 is 9 because we always start with our units, and 9 plus 8 is equal to 17. So our answer is 179. If we have a look at a different example, let's do a slightly bigger one, 3,773, and we are going to find the sum of that number and 289. So we are finding the sum of it, so we're adding them together. So we say 3,773 plus 289. We can put in a placeholder there, and we add them together. So we've got 3 plus 9 is equal to 12. So we put a 2 there, and we carry our 1 over. 7 plus 8 is equal to 15, and we plus our 1, which is equal to 16. Put our 6 there and carry our 1 over. 7 plus 2 is equal to 9, and we plus our 1, which is 10. 3 plus 1 and plus the 0 is just 4. So we see our answer is 4,062. We are now going to have a look at the difference between 2 numbers, and when you are asked to find the difference between 2 or more numbers, you need to minus those numbers. So you need to minus the smaller number from the bigger number. So if we need to find the difference between 503 and 47, let's say, you need to minus those numbers, and we do that in our tower sum. Put in our placeholder and 47, and we minus them. We cannot say 3 minus 7, so we need to borrow from our 0, but we cannot borrow from our 0, so we need to go to our 5, and we borrow 1 from there, so we get 4. We carry our 1 over to our immediate right, and we get 10. You borrow from your 10 to get 9, and you take that 1 over to get 13. And 13 minus 7 is equal to 6. 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. And 4 minus 0 is equal to 4. So our answer is 456. If we have a look at another example, let's do 1,098 minus 876. If we do that in our tower sum, 876, we minus, put in your placeholder, and we've got 8 minus 6, which we can do, is equal to 2. 9 minus 7 is also equal to 2. 0 minus 8 we can't do, so we need to borrow from our 1, carry our 1 over to get 10. 10 minus 8 is equal to 2, and 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. So our answer is equal to 222. We are now going to have a look at the product of 2 or more numbers, which is the same as the multiplication of those numbers. So if we are asked to find the product of 86 and 17, that means we need to multiply those numbers together. So let's have a look at this one. 86 multiplied by 17. We need to have 2 lines there because we are multiplying units and tens here. And then we add those together at the end. So 7 multiplied, we're first going to work with our units. 7 multiplied by 6 is 42, so we put our 2 there, we carry our 4 over. 7 multiplied by 8 is equal to 56. 56, we must plus our 4, is equal to 60. Okay, now the reason I put this 0 here is because we are now going to be multiplying by this 10, because 17 is actually 10 plus 7. So we've already dealt with the 7, so we don't need to do that anymore. This was our units line here. Now we need to cross out that 4 because we are multiplying our tens now, which is why I put that 0 there, because we're not actually going to multiply by 10. We're just going to multiply by 1, and that 0 at the end shows us that we've then times it by 10. So 1 times 6 is 6, and 1 times 8 is 8. So we've got 2 plus 0 is 2, 0 plus 6 is 6, and 6 plus 8 is 14. So our answer is 1,462. If we have a look at another example, let's do 552 times by 37, or we find the product of 552 and 37, which means we multiply them together. So we've got 552, and we multiplying that by 37. So again, we leave a space here so that we can have 2 lines there, and we put in our 0 immediately to indicate that when we're timesing by the 3, we're actually timesing by 30, and then another line for when we add them together. So we've got 7 multiplied by 2 is 14. 7 times by 5 is 35, plus the 1 is 36. 7 by 5 again is 35, and then 36, 37, 38. Then we have dealt with our 7. We now move on to our 3, which is actually 30, which is why we put that 0 there. So we just cross these out to show that we've already used those. 3 by 2 is equal to 6. 3 times 5 is equal to 15. Carry our 1. 3 by 5 is 15. Carry our 1 is 16. And let's put a placeholder there. So we've got 4 plus 0 is 4. 6 plus 6 is 12. Carry our 1. 8 plus 5 is 13. Plus our 1 is 14. Carry our 1. 3 plus 6 is 9. Plus our 1 is 10. 1 plus 1 plus 0 is 2. So we get an answer of 20,424. When we are asked to find the quotient of 2 numbers, that means we are working with divisions. So if we are asked to find the quotient of 3,576 and 6, that means we divide 3,576 by 6. So we do that in our division house, and we put 3, 5, 7, 6 inside the house and 6 outside the house. Right, so 6 into 3 doesn't go, so we put a 0 or a dot to indicate that. And then we say 6 into 35, because we carry our 35 over if we do short division. 6 into 35 goes 5 times, remainder 5, because 5 times 6 is 30, and the difference between 30 and 35 is 5. Now we say 6 into 57 goes 9 times. 9 times 6 is 54, and the difference between 54 and 57 is 3. So 6 into 36 now goes 6 times perfectly, which means we don't have any remainders. So our answer would be 596. If we have a look at a different example now, let's say 7,944 divided by 24. Now it might be quite tricky to be dividing by 24. We could definitely do it if we were doing long division, but if we wanted to do short division, there is a different way that we can work it out. We just need to remember that a division is exactly the same as a fraction. So we can write 7944 over 24. And what we can first do before we do the division in our division house is we can simplify this fraction and then find the final answer at the end. So if we want to simplify this fraction, what we can do is, let's say, divide this 7,944 by 6 and divide 24 by 6, and you would just do that calculation on the side, 7944 divided by 6, and you would get an answer of 1324, and you divide that by 24 divided by 6, which is equal to 4. So all we've done is we've simplified this fraction, and now this division or this fraction would be much easier to get our final answer. So if we now put our 1324 inside our house and our 4 outside the house, it would be much easier than using these numbers here. And we will definitely get exactly the same answer because these fractions are equivalent to each other. So all we've done is we've made the numbers much simpler to make our calculation much easier. So we say 4 into 1 doesn't go. We carry our 1 over. 4 into 13 goes 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. The difference between 12 and 13 is 1. 4 into 12 goes 3 times. 3 times 4 is 12. So there's nothing left over, so we don't carry anything over. 4 into 4 goes once perfectly. So we get an answer of 331. 331.